Class 4 of Unit 6 in History. In the previous classes, we have seen the revolt of Pulidevar and Velu Nachiyar against the British. Today we are going to see the rebellion of Veerapandiya Kattabomman. According to the history of the British records, this revolt of Veerapandiya Kattabomman is considered to be the first Polygar War. Rebellion of Veerapandiya Kattabomman. Veerapandiya Kattabomman was born in 1760. His father is Jagaveera Pandiya Kattabomman. He was the Palayakarar of Panchalam Kuruchi. At the age of 30, Veerapandiya Kattabomman lost his father. After the death of his father, Veerapandiya Kattabomman became the next Palayakarar of Panchalam Kuruchi. He had two brothers named Umathurai and Sevathaiya. There were many reasons that led to the conflict between Veerapandiya Kattabomman and the British. The British administrators James London and Colin Jackson disliked the activities of Veerapandiya Kattabomman. We already saw that Nawabs gave the power of collecting tax from the Palayakaras to the British. Later on, in 1781, a treaty was signed with the Nawabs. According to the treaty, the revenue of the Carnatic came entirely under the control of the British East India Company. Only 1/6 of the total revenue will be given to the Nawabs to maintain the expense of their family. Thus, the power of collecting tax from the Palayakaras of Panchalam Kuruchi came under the control of the British. British appointed collectors to collect tax from the Palayakaras. These collectors, while collecting the tax, they humiliated the Palayakaras, that is, they ill-treated and teased them. And they also forced them to pay the tax. This incident led to the conflict between the English and Kattabomman. Confrontation with Jackson. This is the argument between Veerapandiya Kattabomman and Jackson. Kattabomman had a land revenue arrear of 3,310 pagodas to be paid to British. As there was a drought in that period, Kattabomman was unable to pay the land tax. Here the pagodas means the coin system, that is the currency used in those periods. The collector named Jackson was responsible to collect tax from the Palayakarar of Panchalam Kuruchi. He was very arrogant person. He wants to send army to Kattabomman to collect tax. But the Madras government did not give permission to Jackson. Later, in 18th August 1798, Kattabomman was ordered to meet Jackson in Ramanathapuram. Kattabomman also went to meet him, but Jackson was not there at that time. Later on, he was asked to come to Kutralam. Kattabomman also went to Kutralam to meet him, but Jackson did not give permission to meet him. And again he was asked to come to Srivilliputturu. There also his attempt failed. Finally, on 19th September 1798, Kattabomman met Jackson in Ramanathapuram. It is also said that Kattabomman was made to stand for 3 hours in front of Jackson. There was an argument between Veerapandiya Kattabomman and Jackson on paying the tax. Veerapandiya Kattabomman, on sensing the danger, he tried to escape along with his minister Sivasubramanianar. Umathurai suddenly entered the fort and helped Veerapandiya Kattabomman to escape. But at the gate there was a clash and Lieutenant Clark was killed. And also the minister of Veerapandiya Kattabomman was taken into prison. That is, Sivasubramanianar was present. This picture shows the coin system, that is the pagodas, which was used as a currency in ancient period. Next, the Kattabomman's minister Sivasubramanianar was arrested by Jackson. Kattabomman went to the Madras Council and reported about how he was ill-treated by Jackson in Ramanathapuram. Governor Edward Clive ordered to release Sivasubramanianar and he suspended Jackson. In order to have a clear view of the incident, Kattabomman was asked to appear before the council. The committee members were William Brown, William Oram and John Casamajor. On the order of Madras Council, Kattabomman appeared before the committee on December 15, 1798. After a long discussion with Kattabomman, the council finally concluded that Veerapandiya Kattabomman was guilty. அதாவது கட்டபொம்மன் மேல எந்த தப்பும் இல்லைன்னு சொல்றாங்க. Collector Jackson was dismissed from his duty. New collector S.R. Lushington was appointed by the Madras Council. By this time, Kattabomman cleared almost all his revenue arrears, leaving only 1080 pagodas. So, the remaining arrear that he has to pay to the British was only 1080 pagodas. Kattabomman and the Confederacy of the Palekaras. We already know what does this confederacy mean. Confederacy means to form an union. In the revolt of Pulidevar, we have seen that Pulidevar will have made a confederacy with the Palekaras to fight against the British. In that confederacy, all the Maravar Palekaras will join Pulidevar except the Palekarar of Sivagiri. Likewise, in the eastern side, the Palekarar of Panjalanguruchi and Ettayapuram will not join that confederacy. Now, like Pulidevar, Mardu brothers also formed a new confederacy called as South Indian Confederacy, and for that confederacy Mardu Pandiyar will be the leader. They will also make a proclamation called as Tiruchi Proclamation, which means they will leave an open statement to gather people to fight against the British. Kattabomman, on hearing this, he will be interested to join the confederacy, but Collector S.R. Lushington will prevent Kattabomman from meeting Mardu brothers. Finally, Mardu brothers will meet Kattabomman and they will decide to fight against the British. Veerapandiya Kattabomman joined the confederacy with the Mardu brothers, that is in the South Indian Confederacy. He will try to convince the Palekarar of Sivagiri to join that confederacy, but the Sivagiri Palekarar will refuse to join because he was a supporter of British. British, on knowing this, they considered it as a challenge to attack Veerapandiya Kattabomman and Mardu brothers. So, அதை ஒரு சவாலை எடுத்துக்கிட்டு அவங்க ஒரு பேட்டிலுக்கு ரெடி ஆகுறாங்க. So, they marched towards Tirunelveli to defeat Veerapandiya Kattabomman. Siege of Panjalanguruchi. Here we are going to see how the fort of Panjalanguruchi was blocked by the British. In May 1799, Lord Wellesley from Madras issued an order. He ordered the forces from Tiruchirappalli, Tanjavur and Madurai to move towards Tirunelveli to capture Panjalanguruchi. These forces was headed by Major Bannerman. So Major Bannerman commanded these troops. Meanwhile, the troop of Travancore also joined the British. So totally, the troop from Tiruchirappalli, Tanjavur, Madurai and Travancore moved towards Panjalanguruchi to capture it. On 1st September, Kattabomman was sent a message to surrender to the British, but Kattabomman refused it. So Bannerman decided to enter the fort with his army. On 5th September, the entire force reached Panjalam Guruchi. The first step they did was they cut all the communication with Veerapandiya Kattabomman. So communication full cut panniranga. And next, through a person called Ramalinganar, a message will be sent to Kattabomman to surrender. This time also, Veerapandiya Kattabomman will refuse to surrender to the British. On hearing this, Bannerman gets angry and he will start his operation of attacking the fort. So he will collect the information from Ramalinganar, that is the hidden ways to reach the fort. At the meantime, Minister of Kattabomman, that is Siva Subramanianar, will be arrested and he will be taken to prison. Execution of Kattabomman. Now the fort is fully surrounded by the British army and they will start to attack the fort. They will cause a great damage to the fort. However, Veerapandiya Kattabomman will escape and he will reach Pudukkottai. Now the British will put a price for his head. So யாரெல்லாம் கட்டபொம்மனை எங்க இருக்காங்கன்னு காட்டி கொடுக்குறீங்களோ they will be rewarded அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு அனௌன்ஸ்மெண்ட் கொடுக்குறாங்க. Rajas of Pudukkottai and Ettayapuram, they are already the supporters of the British. They will betray the place of Kattabomman and finally the British will capture Kattabomman. Siva Subramanianar, who was arrested by the British, he will be executed at Nagalapuram on 13th September. Mockery of trial on Kattabomman was made by Bannerman. That is, Kattabomman was threatened to fear of death by a trial of hanging him. Even then, Kattabomman was not feared. He bravely accepted all the charges which were levelled against him. Finally, Veerapandiya Kattabomman was hanged from a tamarind tree in the old fort of Kayathar near Tirunelveli. Thus ended the life of a celebrated Palayakarar of Panjalam Guruchi, the great warrior Veerapandiya Kattabomman. Even though Veerapandiya Kattabomman was defeated, he still lives in the memories of the people. Many folk ballads were sung by the local people in the praise of Veerapandiya Kattabomman, and his fort at Panjalam Guruchi is reconstructed and maintained by the government. The government of Tamil Nadu has constructed a memorial at Kayathar and protects the remaining, that is the leftover of his Panjalam Guruchi fort. INS Kattabomman is an Indian Navy communication center named after him. The government of India also released a postal stamp on 16th October 1999 to honor him and remember 200 years of his hanging. Home task: go through the lesson in a textbook and take a short notes on these slides. Coming to the book exercises, answer the questions briefly. You can answer the fifth question. What was the bone of contention between the company and Kattabomman? So what was the reason that led to the conflict between the company and the Kattabomman? So collectors were appointed to collect tax from the Palayakaras. These collectors ill-treated and humiliated the Palayakaras, and they also forced them to pay the tax. So this was the bone of contention between the company and Kattabomman. And coming to answer in detail, you can answer the first one. Attempt an essay of the heroic fight Veerapandiya Kattabomman conducted against the East India Company. Refer your books and notes to answer this question. We have already seen in the revolt of Veerapandiya Kattabomman against the British, Mardu brothers would have started the South Indian Confederacy and Kattabomman would be interested in joining that confederacy, but the collector Lushington will prevent him from joining. Anyway, he will meet the Mardu brothers and they will have a confrontation against the British. So now here we will see detailing about the revolt of Mardu brothers against the British. Periyamardu is also called as Vellamardu. He was born in 1748. And Chinnamardu, he is the younger brother of Periyamardu. He was born in 1753. Chinnamardu is also called as Mardu Pandiyar. They were the able generals in the army of Muttuvadagar. So Muttuvadagar is the husband of Velu Nachiyar. After the defeat of Muttuvadagar by the British in Kalayar Koil battle, these Mardu brothers will help Velu Nachiyar to escape from the British. Mardu brothers were the reason of how Velu Nachiyar was able to restore her throne of recapturing Sivagangai. We already know that Veerapandiya Kattabomman was in good relationship with the Mardu brothers. After the death of Veerapandiya Kattabomman, Mardu brothers worked with his brothers, that is the brother of Veerapandiya Kattabomman, Oomadurai and Savataya. They together destroyed the granaries of the British and caused great damage to them. Even though Kattabomman was hanged out in 1799, again a rebellion broke out in 1800 by the Mardu brothers. According to the British record, it was considered as a second Polygar War. So the first Polygar War was the revolt of Veerapandiya Kattabomman against the British, and the second Polygar War was the revolt of Mardu brothers. We already know that Mardu brothers started the South Indian Confederacy. Now we will see who were the members of that confederacy. They were Mardu Pandiyan of Sivagangai, Gopala Nayak of Dindigul, Kerala Varma of Malabar, Krishnappa Nayak and Doondaji of Mysore. They were the members of that union. The rebellion broke out in 1800 and it was considered as a second Polygar War. And this war was directed by the members of that confederacy. In 1800, the members of the confederacy met at Virupachi and they decided to revolt against the British. The revolt broke out in Coimbatore in June 1800. The British came to know about it and they declared a war on Kannappa Nayak of Mysore, Kerala Varma of Malabar and others. Finally, the Palaikaras of Coimbatore, Satyamangalam and Tarapuram were caught and they were hanged by the British. In February 1801, the two brothers of Veerapandiya Kattabomman, Oomadurai and Savataya, escaped from the prison of Palem Kotai. They reached a place called Kamuthi. From there, Chinnamardu saved them and took them to Sirvayal, which was his native place. They then reconstructed the Pancharamkurchi fort. The British troops under Colin Macaulay, on knowing this, they went and recaptured that fort. Mardu brothers along with Oomadurai and Savataya shifted to Sivagangai. The British ordered Mardu brothers to hand over Oomadurai and Savataya to them, but Mardu brothers refused it. So the British appointed Colonel Agnew and Colonel Innes to arrest Oomadurai and Savataya. Colonel Innes and Colonel Agnew, along with their forces, went to Sivagangai to arrest them. Next comes the Proclamation of 1801. Proclamation means an open statement or an announcement given to the public. Tamil Arikai Solrole, that is called as Proclamation. The Proclamation of 1801 is also called as Tiruchirappalli Proclamation. In this Proclamation of 1801, it is stated that the Indians should unite against the British irrespective of caste, creed and religion. So on the proclamation of 1801 என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா, all Indians, whatever religion or from whatever region and whatever caste they all should unite and they have to fight against the British அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு they are giving an open statement to in the public. So this notice was pasted in the walls of Nawab Palace in Tiruchirappalli and on the walls of Srirangam temple. So after this proclamation, the British were very much angry with the Mardha brothers. They wanted to defeat these Mardha brothers. On the other side, many Palaikaras joined Mardha brothers and Chinna Marudu individually collected 20,000 sepoys to fight against the British. In this side, Colonel Agnew and Colonel Innes were already ready with their forces, and along with them, forces from Bengal, Ceylon and Malaya also joined the British. The Rajas of Pudukkottai, Ettayapuram and Tanjavur also supported British. The British followed divide and rule policy in this battle. Finally, the forces of Palaikaras were split and they were easily defeated by the British. Fall of Sivagangai. The British attacked the rebels of Tanjavur and Tiruchirappalli in May 1801. Here the rebels means the people who took part in the revolt against the British. The rebels escaped to Piranmalai and Kalaya Kovil. The British followed them and defeated them. Thus the rebellion failed and Sivagangai was captured in 1801. Mardha brothers were executed in the fort of Tirupattur near Ramanathapuram on 24th October 1801. Omadurai and Savataya were captured and hanged in Panjalam Kuruchi on 16th November 1801. 73 rebels were exiled to Penang in Malaya. So here the exiled means they will be taken to other country and they will not be allowed to re-enter their home country. If they try to escape from the exile, they will be put to death. Thus, the rebellion of Mardha brothers is a great landmark event in the history of Tamil Nadu. After the defeat of Pulithevar, Veli Nachiyar, Veerapandiya Kattabomman and Mardha brothers, the total Palaikara system started to suppress. The unity among the local chieftains started to break. A treaty was made in 31st July 1801 called as the Carnatic Treaty 1801. According to this treaty, the British took direct control over Tamilagam. After taking the direct control over Tamilagam, it put to an end to the Palaikara system. All the forts were captured and the army were destroyed. That is, the army of Tamil Nadu were destroyed. Thus the Palaikara system came to an end. And now you can almost answer all the questions in Answer the Questions briefly. You take 6th question, highlight the essence of Tiruchirappalli Proclamation of 1801. And you can answer the 7th question also. Point out the importance of the Treaty of 1801. And coming to the detail, you can answer the 2nd question. Highlight the tragic fall of Sivagangai and its outcome. Dhiran Chinnamalai. Dhiran Chinnamalai was born in 1756 in the Mandradiyar royal family of Palayamkottai. He was named as Tirthagiri by his parents. Tirthagiri was well trained in Silambu, archery, horse riding and modern warfare. That is, the use of modern weapons during war. He used to solve disputes among the people in Kongu region. He was also talented in resolving family and land disputes in that region. Kongu region was under the control of Mysore Sultan. Tipu's Diwan. Diwan is the finance minister in Tipu's fort. Tipu's Diwan, named Muhammad Ali, used to collect tax from the people of Kongu region. On the way of his return, Tirthagiri took away the money from Diwan. He let the Diwan to go, but he ordered him to tell his king that a man named Chinnamalai, who is in between Sivamalai and Chennimalai, took away the tax money. Thus, Tirthagiri got the name of Dhiran Chinnamalai. Diwan was insulted by Chinnamalai. The offended Diwan sent an army to attack Chinnamalai. Both the forces, that is the force of Diwan and Chinnamalai, fought at a place near Nuyal river. Chinnamalai won the battle. Chinnamalai was trained by French army. He fought against British with Tipu Sultan. After the death of Tipu Sultan, Dhiran built a fort and fought against the British without leaving the place. Hence, the place is called as Odanilai. Chinnamalai also launched guerrilla attack against the enemies. Guerrilla attack means an irregular warfare. Finally, the British captured Dhiran and his brothers and imprisoned them. At last, they were given a chance to accept the rule of British. But Dhiran and his brothers refused to accept their rule. They were hanged at the top of Sangagiri Fort on 31st July 1805. Home task. Answer the questions given under each caption. That is in book exercises. You can answer the second question about Dhiran Chinnamalai. Before studying about the Vellore revolt, first we should know the reasons that led to the Vellore revolt. And we should also know about how the major parts of Tamil Nadu went into the hands of British and how the British got the supremacy power of ruling Tamil Nadu. In 1792, there was a war between Tipu Sultan and British. In that war, Tipu Sultan was defeated and the revenue districts of Tamil Nadu like Salem and Dindigul came under the control of British. British defeated the Palayakaras of southern Tamil Nadu. As we have seen already, they defeated the Palayakaras and suppressed the Palayakara system. In 1799, British captured Coimbatore in Anglo-Mysore War. In 1798, Raja of Tanjavur gave the governing power to British. So therefore, Tanjavur also came under the control of British. In 1799, British defeated Kattabomman, and again in 1801, they defeated the Mardu brothers. Again in the same year, 1801, British charged Arcad Nawab for their disloyalty. அதாவது ஆர்காட் நவாப் வந்து விசுவாசமா இல்லைன்னு சொல்லிட்டு they forced the Arcad Nawab to sign a treaty. அதாவது ஒரு ஒப்பந்தத்தில் சைன் பண்ண சொல்றாங்க. So according to the treaty, the North Arcad, South Arcad, Tiruchirappalli, Madurai, Tirunelveli also came under the control of British. This is how British occupied the major parts of Tamil Nadu. First we will see about the grievances of Indian soldiers, that is the complaints of the Indian soldiers against the British. Even though the British occupied the major part of Tamil Nadu and they suppressed the Palayakara system, but the conflict between the Tamil people and the British did not stop. Little kings and feudal chieftains continued with the future course of action to defeat British. As a result of this, Vellore revolt took place in 1806. Reasons for the revolt. Indian sepoys were employed in the British Army. So, most of our Indian sepoys were working under the British Army, and these Indian sepoys were not given proper salary. They were paid very less and were delayed in promotion. The Indian Army officers did not respect the social and religious sentiments. That is, the Hindu sepoys were not allowed to have any religious marks on their forehead. And next, the British introduced a new method of land tenure. That also did not function properly. That is அந்த land வந்து குத்தகைக்கு விடுறாங்க. But that method also did not function properly. And the state of peasantry bordered the sepoys. That is, there was a partiality among the sepoys on the basis of how they were recruited, based on the class. So this also bothered the sepoys a lot. In 1805, the sepoys found difficult to run their family. There was a poor pay, poor salary, and there was no promotion, and they were also insulted a lot. So the sepoys found very difficult to run their family. In the meanwhile, Tipu's son and family were kept in Vellore fort. So next we will see what was the sudden cause that led to the Vellore revolt. The trigger of this revolt was when Commander-in-Chief John Cracourt introduced new military regulations. So he introduced some new military regulations, such as there should be no caste mark or earrings. So the sepoys should not have any religious marks on their forehead, and they should not wear earrings. Even though it is their tradition, they were not allowed to do so. And second one is, they should be cleanly shaved. So all the sepoys must be cleanly shaved, even the Islams. There should be uniformity in mustache. So அந்த மீசையை வந்து யூனிஃபார்மாக வச்சிருக்கணும். And next is, he introduced a new turban system with leather cockage. So turban is the hat which they have on their head, and the leather cockage is the belt or the ribbon over that turbans. This system was disliked by most of the sepoys because that leather cockage was made of leather, which is got from the animal skin. Outbreak of the revolt. So the sepoys were very much disturbed by the activities of the British. In 1806, July 10th, early morning, the Indian sepoys in the 1st and 23rd Regiment raised their revolts by shooting. Colonel Fancourt was the first to be killed. Then Colonel Mackerras was killed next. Major Armstrong, who came to inquire what was happening over there, was also killed by the sepoys. In an hour, they killed about 12 officers. Among them, Lieutenant Ely and Lieutenant Popham belonged to Majestic Battalion. So அதாவது அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அண்ட் 23rd படையில் இருக்கிற அந்த சிப்பாய்ஸ் என்ன பண்ணுறாங்கன்னா, they first started their revolt against the British. ஸோ கண்ணில் படுறவங்க எல்லாரையும் வந்து சுட ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. ஸோ the first to be killed was Colonel Fancourt, and the next was Colonel Mackerras, and Major Armstrong, who was nearby the fort. On hearing the sound, he came inside to inquire what was happening over there. The sepoys killed Major Armstrong also. So in an hour, 12 officers were killed. Brutality. Adula Gillespie also were Ely and Popham. They were Let us see how he behaved very cruelly towards the soldiers. Major Coates, who was outside the fort when the revolt was happening, he immediately informed Gillespie. Gillespie is the cavalry commandant, அதாவது குதிரை படையோட தலைவராக இருக்காரு. On hearing this, Gillespie arrived with his army at 9 a.m. அதுக்குள்ள இந்த சிப்பாய்ஸ் என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா, they will announce Tipu's elder son Petri Haider as their new ruler. They will also hoist the flag of Tipu Sultan, that is the tiger flag, in the fort. On seeing this, Gillespie will be very angry with them, with the sepoys. So he will not follow any war ethics and he will shoot all the sepoys. So கண்ணில் படுற எல்லா சிப்பாய்ஸையும் வந்து சுட்டு தள்ளுறாங்க. After the entry of Gillespie, 800 sepoys were killed. 600 sepoys were sent to Tiruchirappalli and Vellore prison for enquiry. After enquiry, 6 sepoys were blown from guns. So they were tied to the cannons and they were blown off. And 5 were shot dead. 5 பேர் சுட்டுறாங்க and 8 were hanged. Consequences of the revolt. Now let us see the effects of the revolt. After the revolt, Tipu's family were shifted to Calcutta and the officers who suppressed and controlled the revolt were rewarded. Especially Colonel Gillespie was rewarded with 7,000 pagodas. That is, pagodas are the coin system that we used in the ancient time. And then Sir John Cradock, General Agnew and Governor William Bentinck were dismissed from their duty and sent to England because British considered that they were responsible for the rise of this revolt. Estimate of the revolt. First we will see what were the causes for the failure of this Vellore revolt. So in the Vellore revolt எதனால ஒரு failure சந்திச்சதுன்னா, there was no immediate help from the outside. So this revolt failed. And the following members were considered to be the organizers of the revolt: Subedar Sheikh Adam, Sheikh Hamid and Jamidar Sheikh Hussain of the 23rd Regiment and Subedars, that is the 2 Subedars, and Jamidar Sheikh Qasim of 1st Regiment were considered to be the organizers of the revolt. This Vellore revolt that took place in 1806 was also a code. அதோட பாதிப்பு வந்து இந்த பிளேசஸ்லயும் தெரிஞ்சது. In places like Bellary, Walajabad, Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Nandigarh and Shankari-Durg. So இந்த பிளேசஸ்லயும் அதோட பாதிப்புகள் தெரிஞ்சது. So this is about the Vellore revolt that took place in 1806. Home task. So we are at the end of the lesson. Now you can answer almost all the questions from the book exercises. Go through the lesson and take a short notes on these slides. Now coming to the book exercises, answer in detail. You can answer the 3rd question. That is about Vellore revolt. Give an account for the outbreak of Vellore revolt in 1806. Refer your notes and books to answer this question.